G'day guys. The Android for R36S Clones Project is back and better than ever. For those out of the loop, the older Android for Clones project was shut down after a little bit of drama. But the main dev that worked on the actual DTBs is back with some pretty big improvements. All buttons and joysticks should now be working, so no more inverted joystick issue. They also fixed the main power LED and mentioned there's even a small increase in performance. The steps to getting this working are basically the same as before, only you would use these new DTBs instead of the older ones. So we won't go through everything again, but I will link a detailed install guide down in the description below. So the Android for Clones dev recommends using the 2026-0316 R36S lineage build with these new DTBs and kernel. And at the time of filming, that's actually the latest version. So we do have the improved virtual mouse, which is great. We have already written this version of Android to our SD card, but we still need to copy over the new DTBs and kernel. So we'll quickly move over to our Windows 11 PC to finish this off. Let's get into it. We're over on our Windows 11 PC now, and to get started we've just opened up Google Chrome and gone to the original Reddit link where this new project was announced, which as always I will link down in the description below. So in the main post, they tell you a little bit about what's been fixed, but also mention that they do need the community's help to get this working on as many clones as possible. So if you are able to, check out their Discord and see what you can do to help out. The Discord is also linked in the original post, but if we scroll all the way down to the very bottom, somebody has actually uploaded the original files to Mediafire just in case you didn't want to use the Discord. Now I haven't personally tested these Mediafire files because if we go all the way back to the top and click on the Discord link, you don't actually need a Discord account to access the Discord to download the files, only to chat and comment. I will copy the Discord invite link. I'll go incognito and we'll go back to the Discord tab. So since we don't actually have an account, it'll ask us for a display name. We'll just put test 2026 and we'll enter a date of birth. It does want us to verify we're human, so we have to pick the different shape. That's easy, it's that one and that one. And it'll ask you to enter an email and password, but we should be able to just close that off. And it looks like we're in. We do have to answer a few questions, so we'll go tester. And we'll go no, just because we don't have an account. We'll read the rules and accept them. And as you can see, we can't actually chat or comment, but if we go to DTB, we do have access to the files. So although you do need to have a registered Discord account to actually chat, you don't need one just to download files. For our specific clone variant, we'll download the HG36 files and continue to download. I'll save them. And we also need to download the kernel. So on the left under releases, go to kernel, and kernel.zip. There is only one, and continue to download. So with both files downloaded, we can close off Chrome and open up our downloads folder. Inside, we should have our zipped kernel and our zipped DTBs. We do want to extract both, so we'll right click on each one. You can use Windows built-in archiver by clicking extract all, but I always like to use 7-zip, so we'll go down to show more options, 7-zip, and extract here. We'll do the exact same for our DTBs, hg36.zip. And once everything's extracted, we should have a file just called image, and then our two DTBs. Next, we'll insert the SD card we've already written Android to into our PC. I'll copy all three of these files, so image and the two DTBs. Press Ctrl-C to copy. I'll open up the boot partition on the SD card, and we'll just paste them in here, Ctrl-V. It'll ask if you want to replace the files in there. Make sure you click yes. So the top one, replace files in destination. That's pretty much it. It's also worth mentioning, if you didn't want to create an EasyROMs partition on this SD card, which it does automatically, you can create a .NOROMs file, and that will allocate the entire SD card to Android. It doesn't matter too much in this video, so we'll safely eject our SD card and move back over to our R36S clone and see if these new DTBs work. So we're back with our R36S clone, specifically our Emulex sticker clone, or K36 clone. And I have already inserted our new Android SD card into SD slot 1, which is the one on the right, and SD slot 2 on the left is completely empty. We'll just power it on and hope everything works. Awesome, there's the Android boot logo. It's a good sign. It says it's resizing, and we do also have our power LED on. So far, so good. It's finished. Hopefully it does reboot. It's powered itself off. There we go, it's rebooting. There's no power LED. Oh, there we go, it's just turned on. And it looks like it is finally booting. If yours turns off on this screen randomly, try flipping the device over, disconnect the battery, and then reconnect it. That usually fixes the boot issue. Alternatively, you could try and charge it up to 100%. That also does seem to work. It looks like it's finally finished booting, and it says System UI isn't responding. We don't want to close it. I'll just leave it and see if it does come good by itself. It looks like it is working in the background, so I might go down to wait, and yeah, that seems to have done the trick. So we do have to finish the initial boot setup. We'll just go down to Start, select our language, press right, go Next. We won't bother setting the date and time. We don't have any Wi-Fi, we'll go Skip. I don't want to allow location services. I don't want to improve. Again, we don't have internet, so it can't send it anywhere. We don't want a pin, we'll go skip. We'll skip this one as well. And start. It's loading the Daijoshu launcher. It looks like it's finished loading. I think we're in. We'll make sure all the buttons work. So L1 and R1 both work, awesome. The D-pad also works. The left joystick seems to work as well. The right joystick doesn't seem to do anything at the moment, but if we enable the virtual mouse by holding L3 and R3 in, which is the left and right joystick for a few seconds, it should enable the mouse, but I've also clicked on it, and the right joystick does work. It moves the mouse cursor. Click cancel. Yeah, it does work. What about the volume buttons? It is a bit hard to hear, but it does click when the volume goes up and down, so it looks like both volume buttons are working. That's a really good sign. So far, everything seems to work now. Previously, we did have issues with our joystick when using the old Android for Clones DTBs. But as the developer mentioned, it has actually been fixed. That's really great. We might see if our USB OTG port works by connecting a cheap USB flash drive. So my flash drive does have an activity light, and it did briefly blink. We haven't had a pop-up yet on Android. We might open up the Files app using our mouse. We'll go to the 3 lines at the very top left. We'll scroll all the way down the bottom using the right joystick. And yeah, there's our flash drive, Lexar USB. We'll click on it. And I did copy an app over just to test, so I guess we'll install it. I do want to go continue and install. It says it's finished installing. We won't open it, I'll press B. I'll disable the virtual mouse, so hold L3 and R3 in for a few seconds. I should turn it off. It is off, but it is staging the app again. We'll close out. But yeah, the virtual mouse has been disabled. We'll press function, which should take us home. So function works. And I guess we will try Survival Craft 2. Got a black screen. It's been about 5 seconds. Here we go, it's loaded. There is sound. I can show you the volume buttons work now. So the sound's all the way up, and I'll turn it all the way down. So the volume buttons do actually work. It says it stopped responding, but I might go wait, because it does seem to be working. And I guess we'll go into the game just to make sure everything works. The left joystick is the virtual mouse inside this game, but not on Android itself. We'll go play, new world, set up players, and play. We've got the little opening cutscene. It's a little bit laggy, or it was at the start, but it seems fine now. So we're in the game. Does it work? It looks like it does. The joysticks aren't inverted. The right one looks around and the left one moves. Yeah, it looks like everything does actually work with these new Android for Clones DTBs and kernel. Really, really awesome stuff. Overall, it's great to see this project being picked back up and worked on again. With more and more clones being sent out, this is going to help a ton of people. While I would never recommend running Android on your R36S, either clone or non-clone, as your daily driver for general emulation, it is great for older or easier to run Android games that would otherwise be completely unplayable on an R36S. As mentioned earlier, the dev has asked for the community's help in getting this working on more clones. So if you are able to help at all, consider dropping a comment on their Reddit post or in the new Discord channel, both of which will be linked down in the description below. But I think that'll do it for today. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. Otherwise, thanks for watching.